by defeating Spain, while Serbia in a stunner beat Australia in a 26-point blowout Friday night to set up the gold medal matchup. The United States going up against Serbia for the gold. Hi, everybody. I'm Marv Albert, along with Olympian Doug Collins. Rouse Golden Wood working the sideline. And Doug, Mike Krzyzewski has made it clear that DeAndre Jordan will remain in the starting lineup, so they'll go the same way. The concern on the part of Serbia, the way the United States last week in that earlier game got off to a blazing start, and you look around and they're down by 18 points.
Well, Marv, they turned the ball over early. The United States got out and got fast break points off turnovers. Then they settled down after that shaky start, outscored the United States 86-71, and they had this shot to tie the game and send it into overtime. The United States gambling, giving up this shot to Bogdan Bogdanovic. He misses it. They hang on for the victory. But Serbia's got to be very confident if they get off to a good start today that they can beat the United States. And for the United States, I'm looking at three guys. Klay Thompson had a terrific game against Spain. He had 22 points, 4 of 8 from 3. And the two other dynamic scorers for the United States, Kevin Durant, first time they played Serbia, he was 2 for 4, only 4 shots, 12 points. And Carmelo Anthony had a very quiet night, 12 points. Those three guys were 6 of 18, only 27 points against Serbia in pool play. They're going to need much more from their dynamic scorers to win this game today.
Here are the starting lineups. The U.S. with Kevin Durant, Carmelo Anthony, DeAndre Jordan on the front line, Klay Thompson and Kyrie Irving at the guards. For Serbia, Milan Motva, Nikola and Miroslav Radulic, who really hurt the United States in that earlier game. Stefan Markovic and Miloš Teodosić in the backcourt. Serbia's major star, their superb point guard. He wears number 4. And remember the name, Miloš Teodosić, who has had an outstanding Olympic run. And Doug, although the U.S. is a major favorite to win this afternoon, they have not been at the top of the game. Out of their 12-man roster, only Carmelo Anthony and Kevin Durant have won gold medals. Will the rest of this group feel pressure if things remain close?
You know what's interesting? The United States has not yet played a complete 40-minute game. They've played in fits and spurts, Mark. We've seen some sporadic offense. We've seen terrific defense at times. We've seen slippage at times. Can they put together a 40-minute game? More importantly, I don't think there's been a game yet where 2 of the United States' top scorers have played well at the same time. It's been one night, it's been Durant, it's been Klay Thompson, it's been Carmelo Anthony. Can 2 of those guys put together a game when they needed here most in the gold medal?
When the U.S. and Serbia played last week, 6 Team USA players were in double figures, but no one took over the game. And Serbia was within reach. The officiating crew, Jose Reyes of Mexico, Boris Rizic of the Ukraine, and John Carlos Garcia of Spain, and we're set to go. United States controls. Kyrie Irving. Jordan sets the pick. Irving's pass is picked off. And Teodosić let fly. Here comes Durant, hit on a reach-in by Stefan Markovic.
It's interesting with Serbia. They foul the second most of any team in the Olympics. The first game, the United States shot 42 free throws. The United States were outscored by 9 from the 3. We see it right there. No fast breaks early. They're going to stop the game. Is this going to be another big free throw shooting day for the United States?
I would think the idea would be to muck it up.
Yes, and defend the 3-point line. That's really critical.
As Durant makes his move, he's called for the travel.
Not a good start for the United States. 2 turnovers. Kyrie Irving jumps in the air and turns it over. And there Kevin Durant just shuffled his feet.
Incidentally, this is a good weekend for Serbia. Yesterday, Serbia's men won gold in water polo, looking to pull off what would be a huge upset here today against the U.S. Motva for 3. Milan Motva. plays about 14 minutes a game. Has not shot the three particularly well, but able to knock it down.
I tell you what, the United States is going to have to do too, Mark. They're going to have to force Teodosić into some turnovers. He had 4 in the first game. He leaves his feet a lot, jumps in the air. They're going to have to create some turnovers.
Klay Thompson is off. Swatted at and kept alive. Good play by Jordan. Anthony is on it. Carmelo Anthony has struggled since that big finish in the win over Australia. Goes behind the back and then fires. Jordan with the rebound. It counts on the foul. DeAndre Jordan, who had an excellent game in the semis on Friday night, will head to the line.
Well, if you're not going to shoot it well, you got to get multiple shots, and that's what DeAndre Jordan does. Mark, the other night against Spain, the United States had 21 offensive rebounds for 25 points. One of the things I wrote down for Serbia to win the game, they're going to have to defensively rebound the basketball today.
Jordan only 13 of 31 at the line in the Olympics. 43% during his NBA career, and too strong right there. He was sent to the line by Kalinic, who committed the foul.
Initially, Klay Thompson is guarding Teodosić. They have Kyrie Irving off the basketball, so they're using a bigger defender, Klay Thompson, a better defender, and putting Kyrie off the ball, and he's playing Markovic.
And on that handoff, the foul is on Thompson. Teodosić, that pass deflected by Thompson. Durant, Anthony going at Bogdan. Thompson guarded by Teodosić. Looks to post, turns, and hits.
Klay Thompson is a terrific mid-range player. You don't see him posting a lot with Golden State, but he had the advantage there on Teodosić. One thing with Teodosić too, Marv, you got to make him defend. You know, a guy who runs the team and does all those things, take his legs away by making him work on both ends of the floor.
Foul committed by Kevin Durant. Teodosić will put it in play. We're just underway in the gold medal game. Markovic. And he has the good touch. Miroslav Raduljic, who last week against the U.S. put up 18 points. He did foul out, but had a terrific game.
Yeah, he and Jokic combined for 43. Bigs are going to have to do a good job in the paint today.
Irving trying to use the screen, picked up by Bogdan on a switch. Goes to the crossover, hears it from the crowd, but not able to finish. Markovic gets it ahead. It's a very patient Serbian team. However, Markovic saw the opening, but could not finish. Here's Durant on a crossover. Ball knocked away, saved by Irving, who fires one, not a good shot. He was off balance early in the shot clock.
Yeah, not necessary. Kyrie, remember now in the World Cup, the FIBA World Cup in 2014, he was the MVP. They played Serbia the championship game. United States won by 37. They put up 129, and Kyrie was 6 for 6 from 3 and had 26 points in that big victory.
And this team that went 2-3 in the preliminary as Teodosić is able to hit. Then they won their last two. They got to the medal round by virtue of tiebreakers, and here they are playing for the gold medal. Durant very close to a travel. Back comes Serbia. Nice pass, Teodosić getting it to Raduljic, but he missed on the reverse. U.S. is down 7-4. Here are the early moments. Durant puts the move on Kalinic, and he's fouled.
You can see Kevin Durant is looking to be much more active. Marv, I talked about it just as we opened the game here today. He only took 4 shots the last time they played Serbia. He did get to the free throw line 8 times, made 7 of those. So they need him today to find his shot. Marv, it's interesting. He's shooting, 63% from the three-point line, the shorter three-point line. In the Olympics, the rest of the team is shooting like 32%. They have not shot the ball well.
And Kevin Durant, who is a 90% shooter in the NBA, Just 21 of 27 now with that miss at the line.
Well, we saw Ginobili when we saw Argentina, and he was shooting like 62% from the line, and he's like an 85% shooter. So whatever it is, guys are not shooting nearly as well as they do when they play in the NBA.
Serbia with a 7-5 advantage. Raduljic pops it out. Good play by Thompson cutting across, and then it's a kick ball. It's called on the U.S., so Serbia maintains possession.
You see a different Serbian team than we saw in pool play. They came out, were very skittish, turned it over. The United States had 10 fast break points and 9 points off turnovers in the first quarter. After that, they hardly got any. And when Serbia settled down, the United States got outscored by 9 from the three-point line. So Serbia, from that first part of that game, really controlled the pace of that game the rest of the way.
Nice moves by Teodosić. Bogdan had it slapped away. Here comes Durant ahead of the field and steps. Ties the game.
Defense creating offense. That's the way the United States team was built. We've seen it in spurts. See if you can see it for 40 minutes.
Teodosić off on a three, but it's put home by Bogdan.
Now Bogdan either got away with a little shove in the back, or Carmelo Anthony tried to sell one there and didn't get the call.
Kyrie Irving, who continues to shoot well in the semifinal against Spain the other day, 5 for 9. He had 13 points.
Serbia playing a little zone here, 2-3 zone, just trying to slow the United States down. You got to move the ball in bodies against the zone, or you get an awfully tough shot like that.
Thompson just did get it off, and a foul is called away from the ball. It's on Markovic. Made contact with Anthony.
Somebody's got to get in the middle of that zone, Mark. You got to try to get to the middle, get guys, shooters in the corner. United States stood around, and Klay Thompson had to take a very tough shot. But again, if you're not going to shoot it well, you got to get multiple shots, and you got to have your defense create some offense. And Kevin Durant gets an easy score.
Markovic picking up his second. He'll take a seat. Stefan Jovic, 6'5", backcourt man, will just checked in. Here is Thompson, able to hit over Teodosić.
Well executed set play on the inline, out of bounds.
Game is tied at 9. Klay Thompson has had 2 breakout games between struggling with the shot. Teodosić blocked, rejected by Jordan. 3-on-2 for the U.S. Jordan can't handle, and Thompson is fouled from behind by Raduljic.
See, Klay Thompson was trying to reward DeAndre Jordan on that play. He made the block. He sprinted to the rim. Watch this play right here by DeAndre Jordan. He has been so good for the United States. Mark, he had 16 rebounds, 4 blocks against Spain. Did a really good job against Pau Gasol, especially late in that game. But that was a driving kick, and Kyrie Irving was wide open for a 3 on that play.
And Doug, the word is no foul on Raduljic. The ball was knocked out of bounds.
But Serbia has 5 fouls already, so United States will be shooting the rest of the quarter.
Bogdanovic has come on. He is an instant offense shooter. That went through the hands of Jordan into the hands of Bogdanovic. Bogdanovic, at one time a #1 draft pick of the Phoenix Suns, that was a couple of years back, decided to stay overseas. This is Bogdanovic. He can shoot. Bogdanovic off the dribble, try to hand it off, and it's broken up and knocked out of bounds. Last touched by the U.S.
See, if you're Serbia right now, you've played half of the first quarter. It's a tie game. Marv, it's only a 40-minute game, not 48. The more you can hang around, the more pressure you put on the United States. I mean, Serbia is playing with the house money today. They got a chance for a gold medal here, but if not, a silver medal would be tremendous for them. So they just want to hang around.
This is Nikola Jokic of the Denver Nuggets, who had an excellent game last week against the U.S. And as he tried to take it to the hoop, he is fouled. Foul committed by Carmelo Anthony.
See, Carmelo laying behind in the post on Jokic. He's got to get around in front of him. That's such an easy pass, and then he's just going to back him down. Deny that entry pass. Don't just let that ball go right into the post. He's got you about 4 inches in the post.
Jokic with a huge game last week, 11 of 15, 25 points. This is Jovic with his first shot attempt. Game tied at 9, coming up on 4 minutes remaining in the first. Nice penetration by Kyrie Irving.
That was a brilliant move. Took the screen and then went right at Medulica, locked his ankles up and hit the beautiful floater.
Bogdanovic. Thompson picked off. Able to recover. Bogdanovic. Oh, beautifully done as he got it back to Medulica.
See, Klay Thompson is saying, I had him. You don't need to come over and help on that. DeAndre Jordan committed, dropped it off to his guy for a dunk. Klay Thompson said, I had him. I don't need you on that play.
The steal. Bogdanovic took it out of the hands of Thompson. Bogdanovic is fouled by Irving. Bogdanovic will head to the line. He will shoot a pair.
Now watch this play here as he goes to the rim. Klay Thompson says, look, I have him. I have him right there. And DeAndre Jordan comes over. Basically, he was behind the basket. He's looking and he's saying, I don't need help on that play. And they're communicating right over there on the bench a little bit. And those are the kind of plays you can't give up those easy hoops. That's why you got to keep that ball out of the paint.
Substitutions for the United States. In fact, 4 of them. Jimmy Butler has come on with Kyle Lowry, Paul George, DeMarcus Cousins. Let's check in with Roz.
Thanks, Mark. It was the 2014 Basketball World Cup where USA dominated Serbia by nearly 40 points. And Serbian head coach Sasha Djordjevic told me it was right after that game where he knew he wanted to see USA again. He said 2 years ago, they weren't ready. It was unexpected success for us. He said we were too enthusiastic just to get to the finals. We didn't respond well. They just went all over us with their physicality, their talent on the floor. It was over quick. Now in Olympic pool play, they play them to 3 points, and he said we responded as competitors. That's all I ask of my players.
All right, Roz, and he was concerned of a fast start again by the U.S., but that has not been the case. Foul is called against Serbia. Looks to be Brčević, who had just come on. And how do they say against the United States? It's on DeMarcus Cousins, who has been getting himself involved in early foul trouble.
Well, just to follow up on Roz's report, that's the game. That's what I was talking about. Kyrie Irving, look what they shot. Then plus 30 from the three-point line. Then you go to 216 the other day in pool play. The three-point game, the Bigs 43 points. They actually outscored the United States by 9 from the three-point line. And you know what I'm seeing from United States here early in the game? Degree of difficulty shots. And when you are the most talented team, move the ball, you shouldn't have to take a lot of contested shots. That was Paul George going to his weak hand, shooting over his shoulder, and then a loose ball foul that puts Serbia on the free throw line. You can't make those kind of plays.
But that has been the case throughout. The one game we did not see as Durant fires for 3 was the big win over Argentina. And then the foul call against Serbia. Brčević got involved. And it is Stefan Brčević, this time called for the foul. And they are over the foul limit.
It's more of a tale of 2 quarters right now with 3 minutes to go. United States, at this point in time, had built up an 18-point lead the first time they played. Today they're down 3. United States had 27 at the end of the first quarter. Today only 11. And so Serbia is not turning it over as much. They're getting back. They're getting their defense set. They're not giving up transition points. And they're not giving up three-point shots. You really have to like their game plan right now.
Marcus Cousins connecting on 1 of 2 against Spain the other night in the semifinal. Once again in foul trouble. In fact, Cousins fouled out late third quarter. Bogdanovic into the lane. That pass too wide and out of bounds.
But it's a dead ball turnover. I know you don't want to turn the ball over, but the United States have to inbound it and get your defense back.
Serbia up 14-12. Coming up on 2.5 remaining in this first quarter. It's for the gold here at the 2016 Olympic Games. Durant from way downtown. It's Cousins inside, not able to convert. Butler off the back tap. Now to 5 on the shot clock with that 14-second rule off an offensive rebound. Lowry had nowhere to go, and he threw it away. So Serbia back to the offense. Bogdanovic played by Butler. Lost him on a pick. Bogdanovic now played on a switch by Cousins. Shoots over him. Good hustle here by Serbia, but the U.S. comes up with it.
Great play by Kyle Lowry to strum that ball out off the floor to give his team a possession.
George behind the back. George tripped up. Paul George able to put that bounce behind him, and then he drew the foul. Both teams are now over the foul limit. Simonovic called for the foul. 2 shots for George.
Well, the United States started out 5 for 17 shooting for 29%. They're 0 for 6 from 3, and they've missed 3 free throws.
Paul George during the Olympics, 14 of 17 at the line against Spain on Friday. He had another solid game, Doug. 6 points, 6 rebounds, couple of steals. Did it off the bench.
Well, I really like what Coach K has done with his rotation. When you put DeAndre Jordan as a starter, DeMarcus Cousins with the second unit. The reason I like Cousins better with him is because Paul George, Jimmy Butler, and Kyle Lowry are a better defensive perimeter than that first unit. So it helps Cousins. The problem with the second unit is, other than Paul George, Kyle Lowry and Jimmy Butler have not been able to make a shot. And so DeRozan is in the game. He did not play the other day, so he's getting an early call because Jimmy Butler is up over there with a little bit of a nosebleed.
Game is tied at 14. Substitutions for Serbia. Miloš Teodosić back on the floor. Bogdanovic for 3.
They love that play. It's called the elevator play, where you run a guard up between 2 bigs and they shut it down to get a little 3-point shot. Kyle Lowry misses the floater, and they're on the run once again.
It's Bogdanovic off the break. Game is tied at 14. A poor shooting first quarter here by the United States. Nice pass. It counts as a foul. Beautiful flip pass from DeRozan to set it up, and Cousins will go to the line looking for the 3-point play.
Well, DeMarcus Cousins can score the ball. We know that. He averaged about 27 points a game for Sacramento. With this second unit, they need him to do that. And Marv, he actually played well for the United States against Serbia in that gold medal game when they played in the World Cup. He had only played 17 minutes, but had 11 points and 9 rebounds in that game.
Another missed free throw by the U.S. First time the United States has led here this afternoon. The final minute of the first. Nice pass. Jokic could not put it down. Here comes Lowry. DeRozan, travel call.
See, in international basketball, when you catch that ball, you got to immediately put it down on the floor. They will get you. We saw that. There's Gino Auriemma. He's taking in the game, the women's coach, who won once again a gold medal and just dominated the field here. I was at the game yesterday, Marv, as they defeated Spain handily.
That's 6 straight gold medals for the U.S. women's basketball team, and they have won 49 straight Olympic games. Foul on George, so Teodosić to the line with 35 seconds remaining in the first. So this in contrast to what took place in their previous meeting last week, where the United States was up 23-5. They had that 18-point lead, and then Serbia able to get back into it. Turned out to be, as we've talked about, a 3-point game with Bogdanovic having a chance at the buzzer to tie it, to set it into overtime with a pretty good look on a 3-point shot.
Well, the United States had 16 points and 6 turnovers.
So 1 for 3. So Kevin Durant has given the U.S. a 4-point lead. That's his second field goal, his first from downtown. And Serbia can hold for a final shot. Final seconds of the quarter. Bogdanovic with a deep 3. So that is the end of the first quarter. The U.S. shoots just 7 for 20 from the field, 35%, and they lead it after 1 by the score of 19-15.
Great teammate, Mark. You and I have had a chance to work with him a lot, and he works that sideline and brings you information. The players love and respect him. and they will share things with him that they won't share with a lot of guys. That's with a lot of years of trust that you built.
On to the second quarter. United States up 19-15. Bogdanovic, played by Lowry. Trying to take it right out of his hands. Bogdanovic with that hesitation dribble and the pass picked off. Here's George to the bucket.
This was the difference in the start of the game the other night. Steals, fast breaks, points off, turnovers. Tough shot by Teodosić here. United States looking to try to get a spurt, but once again, the strategic foul. I'm not sure if I like Raduljic doing that, out there fouling like that, because he's so important to your team. He fouled out in the game in pool play, but Paul George, we've talked about how dynamic he is for that second unit, a great two-way player. And this second unit, if there's a team that has an identity throughout this tournament, this second unit, you know what you get from them every night, Mark.
For Raduljic, his first foul, Cousins goes right at him. And that's number 2 on Miroslav Raduljic. He goes 7 foot, 285 pounds. Very tough physical player. He's had NBA experience, played 48 games with the Milwaukee Bucks 3 years ago. Also spent some time with the T-Wolves. For the most part, he's played professionally in Serbia, Greece, and China. This is 7th season on Serbia's national team.
Well, it's why I didn't like him taking that foul at half. If I'm the coach, now he gets his second one. And we saw that the other night. He picked up his third and fourth quickly. He sat down, came in, picked up his fifth. And he and Jokic were the big difference in that game. Pool play, those two guys had 43 points. They dominated the U.S. in the paint.
Serbia now with 3 players with 2 fouls apiece. And this one is called on Paul George, who, as you can see, does not like the call. That's his second.
You can see the respect they have for Teodosić. You've seen Paul George on him. You see Klay Thompson. Paul George now going to use his size and try to keep Teodosić out of that middle.
Markovic handling against Lowry. Teodosić hounded by George. And a bad pass by Raduljic.
Coach K's philosophy as a defensive coach at Duke, wherever he's been, has been don't let teams run plays, make them make plays. And that's why you get the wrong people making the play. They jump in the air and they turn the ball over. So the first time Serbia ran plays, the United States is trying to make them make plays today.
Lowry and Thompson now in the backcourt with Cousins and Durant up front. Along with George. George off on a 3, came up short. Cousins keeps it alive. Gets it to George. The follow is missed, but a foul. Marcus Cousins very active here in the second quarter.
I think the big men got the memo, how important they were going to be today. DeMarcus Cousins is huge in this game because he can score and he's so active on the boards. He makes Raduljic guard you in the post. DeAndre Jordan is not a primary post player. DeMarcus Cousins is, and he's having a good game here to start for the United States.
He'll go to the line, 3 of 5 at the line. The foul on Nikola. And for Kalinic, that is his third foul. Timeout has been taken by Serbia.
USA defense, it's the thing they prided themselves coming in to the Olympics. They had great slippage in pool play. They have cranked it up now in the medal round, creating turnovers, getting in the open court, deflections, block shots, missed field goals. You can get out and run. Paul George, once again with the steal. We've seen Durant in the passing lanes, Kyle Lowry on the floor for loose balls, DeAndre Jordan blocking shots. They were built to defend and rebound. That's why they were so disappointing in those 3 pool play games. Not to take anything, Marv, away from their opponents, but that 3 games that they played defensively, they were really bad.
And here's that run that Serbia feared, an 11-1 spurt by the U.S. Let's go over to Roz.
A big part of that defensive burst from USA comes from the bench. They know exactly who they are. Tom Thibodeau said, we've had several hustle energy plays that tend to unite and inspire our team. It comes from the bench. Those are winning plays. They can turn things around for you over the course of the game, get you some easy offense. You've got DeMarcus Cousins on the free throw line. He feels very comfortable coming off the bench. He's accepted that role. And you've got Paul George, who actually told me he likes to play with the second unit more. He said, I like the group I play with, we understand each other, and we're on the same page the second we all come in.
And you can also see, it seems like that Kyle Lowry is out on the floor with DeMarcus Cousins. So Kyle is a better on-the-ball defender. DeMarcus struggled to screen roll. Kyrie not as good on the ball, so he had him out there with DeAndre Jordan, who covers him up. That's how they're working in tandem.
Bogdan played by Durant. Good job defensively by George and Teodosić. Shot clock down to 4. Nice pass. Kyrie remaining on the floor despite the 3 fouls, able to hit on the drive.
That was a much-needed basket by Serbia. They were starting to get a little separation in the United States, and so they're staying now within 8.
Here's Durant for 3. That's his second from downtown.
He actually got started at the end of that quarter, that long 3 mark that he knocked down right at the end of the first quarter. He has 9 points today, much more aggressive shooting the ball.
28-17, Team USA on top. We are early, second quarter. Markovic met by Lowry. Good ball movement here. Markovic, yes.
Kyle Lowry made a mistake there. He got caught back in the paint. They did not need him. He left his guy for a driving kick. When Teodosić gets in the lane, you got to play passing lanes. Make him shoot the ball.
Durant again from downtown. That is his 3rd three-pointer. An 11-point advantage for the U.S. Oh, a bad pass. It's up there, leads to that. Durant with the finish. And the Serbian players chatting with each other. A little miscommunication on that play.
Well, this is when you got a chance. Now you're up 13. You're in the United States. You got them on their heels. Now this is the shaky team that the United States saw in pool play. Put pressure on them make mistakes. And Kevin Durant, Marvin talked about him to start the game. He is their dynamic scorer. They need him. He has 14 in the game. This is the guy who had 30 against Spain in the gold medal game in 2012. And in 2010, he had 28 in the gold medal game against Turkey. So when the game has been at its biggest, he has responded.
Overall, Serbia has won 4 and lost 3. They finished 2-3 in pool play, including a 1-point loss to France on a jumper by Tony Parker.
And this is what I'm talking about, Marv. Lithuania, semis, he had 38 in the World Cup, followed up with Turkey, 28. That was a real hostile environment when they played Turkey. And then Argentina, you see what he did there. But Spain, 30 in the gold medal game. 27 against Argentina. He was cold against Spain, but he has responded when they've needed him most here. USA up by 13. This is where at Duke they start slapping the floor and say, get a defensive stop and keep it rolling.
It is now a 21-6 run for the United States. Did not get off to the quick start, but then able to turn it. Here's Bogdanovic, wide open for 3. Does not have the touch. And off the triple team as Raduja could look for position. The foul is called. Irving trying to help out, commits his second.
It's a good foul. Only 2 fouls committed by the United States. Remember, you shoot on 5. The United States wants to make more free throws than their opponents attempt.
Irving on Bogdanovic. Kalinic is off. Jordan just checked in, came down with the rebound and was hit from behind, so the foul. And Serbia, is that number 5? No, number 4. Team foul, and Kalinic has picked up his 4th.
Now you can say, you know, that's not a bad foul, but I disagree with you because now the United States will shoot from here on in. So you waste a foul on DeAndre Jordan on a loose ball foul, and now the United States will shoot from here on in.
Doug, did you just have an argument with yourself?
I just did. I just did. But sometimes say, oh, what a good foul. That wasn't a good foul.
Just under 6.5 remaining in the first half. Oh, he's feeling it. Not that time, though, for Durant. And then the foul is called as Jordan went. Oh, Jordan and Markovic swipe at each other, but Jordan was upset, did not want to give up the basketball after he was called for that foul, and he's fortunate he was not hit with a technical.
Anytime as a big man you get your hands down below your elbows, you're going to push off. It's human nature to push off. That's why you teach a guy to keep your elbows high. And DeAndre Jordan with a foul, and that's only 3 on the United States. And Carmelo Anthony's been sitting over there a long time, Mark. He has not played well over the last few games, and he's sitting on the end of the bench. We'll have to keep our eye on him.
Bogdanovic. Teodosić with the runner. He's been quiet thus far. Only a second field goal.
Well, they're making him work on every possession, either against Paul George or Klay Thompson. So even on that last shot, Mark, he could feel Paul George coming in from behind him to defend that.
And the foul is on Raduljica, and that is number 3. So Raduljica, who's a key man in Serbia's scheme, fouled out in that meeting against the U.S. last week, despite having a strong game. Already has 3 and much time remaining.
And Jokic, who had 25 points in the first game, has none tonight. So those 2 guys who combined for 43, Raduljica has 4, Jokic has none. That's a big difference. It's one of the reasons why United States is up 11.
Timeout taken with just under 6 remaining in this first half. Well, during the course of the Olympics, we enjoy flashing back. And it was back in 1992 in Barcelona, the United States sending NBA players to the Olympics for the very first time. And they completely overwhelmed all competition, won all 8 games, won by an average margin of 43 points a game. I can recall head coach Chuck Kelly never called a timeout. And 11 of the NBA players on that roster are now enshrined in the Naismith Basketball Hall of Fame. You see the medal ceremony.
And it's a big reason why there are 46 international players in this Olympic tournament, and I think 71 that have played in the NBA. So that moment, Marv, that you were there, these players all fell in love with the United States players, and the coaches got much better. United States coaches went over and helped them, and the clinics, the fundamentals, the teaching, they worked so hard at the game to be where they are today.
Although almost every game was a wipeout, it was actually the international community of basketball that wanted the NBA players. And of course, at the time, there is NBA Commissioner Adam Silver in attendance once again. But at the time, there was criticism about all the wallopings that took place. And of course, now there's criticism, and understandably so, because the U.S. has not played particularly well during the course of this Olympic run. The criticism deals with, as Durant was able to hit, with the fact that it's been a lot of one-on-one, and the defense has not done what was anticipated. But here they are, up now 38-22. Pass inside, Markovic not able to hit. Gets his rebound. Well, they're staying with Raduljica despite the 3 fouls, and this time he picks up a foul on the U.S. It's on Cousins. And now Raduljica will take a seat. How about Kevin Durant? 17 points, 4 of 6 from 3-point range.
He actually got started on that shot right at the end of the first quarter.
Markovic not able to hit the runner. It's been all U.S. after the good start by Serbia. They're up by 16. Irving, nice pass out of the hop, and it's put home by Cousins.
See, Cousins is so good with that second unit because they're going to go to him and he can score the ball. And he and Kyrie in the pick and roll there. Kyrie made a beautiful pass to him. And sort of danger time right now, Marv, for Serbia. We talked about them playing with the house money coming in. A lot of people didn't think they were going to be here. You know, if the United States jumped on them, would they be happy just to get the silver medal? So the end of this half is going to say a lot about whether Serbia is going to stay in the game or the United States can really get some distance.
That was a kick ball, so Serbia maintains possession. United States now 45% from the field. Thompson able to add to it with a three.
So now Klay Thompson's made some shots. Durant, the first time both of those guys on the floor together have made shots. I'm sure Steve Kerr is watching back home in San Francisco. That's a sight he wants to see a lot next year.
Simonovic able to hit from the corner. And you know what Steve is watching? He's taking notes so he can complain about the play-by-play and the commentary. That's what he's doing. It's a 24 to 10 advantage here in the second quarter for the U.S. over Serbia. Bogdanovic can't find a shot. They've done a very good job on Bogdanovic. Now he finds it, and he's off.
You know, sometimes when guys are really running at you and taking you off your rhythm, you start shooting the ball so quickly out of your rhythm. You see Bogdanovic has really not been comfortable shooting his shot. Even though he's had some opens, they've been rushed.
He is 0 for 6 from the field. You hear the chant for USA. Thompson from way downtown. On the back tap, here's Irving shooting. The tip missed by Thompson. And back comes Serbia. Simonovic, this time short. United States by 18, just under 3 to play in the first half. Durant with the step and the bucket.
Pretty easy offense right there. Bring the ball down the floor, lag it back to Kevin Durant, and let him attack from the top of the floor. Getting to the rim with the powerful finish. That's 19 for Kevin Durant.
Marv Albert, Doug Collins, Ross Golden-Woody, Simonovic for 3.
They've had some wide open shots they have just missed. Simonovic has missed about 3 in a row.
They're shooting just under 30% for the half. Bogdanovic trying to get it down low. Bogdanovic with a runner. Been a rough one for Bogdanovic, but Jokic able to put it home on the follow.
Well, the perimeter defense for the United States has been so much better. See, when they don't get broken down, then it doesn't get those guys rolling to the rim and all those things for the bigs. So the bigs have not been involved for Serbia here at all.
U.S. up by 18. Cousins able to reach for that, and he draws the foul. It is on Bogdanovic.
See, that's a big difference between Cousins and DeAndre Jordan. You can't make that pass to DeAndre Jordan. Here's that last replay with Kevin Durant going to the rim. But with Kevin Durant in a screen roll, you're going to see it a lot this year with Draymond Green. He'll make that little short pocket pass out of those traps, and you put the ball in the hand of a playmaker in the middle of the floor. And DeMarcus Cousins can catch that ball and make those plays.
You know, Doug, we're looking at a trimmer, DeMarcus Cousins, in preparation for the Olympics. He incorporated yoga into his workouts, and like yourself, he likes hot yoga. Doing it in a room, he says it's heated to 105 degrees. DeMarcus says he feels lighter on his feet and is a lot more flexible. This is all coming from DeMarcus.
Mark, with my flexibility with two artificial hips and artificial knee is not a pretty sight in hot yoga.
I find you still move well to your left. Minute 35 remaining, and a clear path for Miloš Teodosić. But they've handled him well. He's 3 for 7 from the field, just 7 points. 3 assists. Durant with a step back. Durant with the runner and gets the roll.
Well, you cannot play Jokic on Kevin Durant. There's just absolutely no way. They've got Stimac out on the floor playing as a 5. Carmelo Anthony's guarding him. So there's no way that you can play Durant with a big.
Teodosić slipped, lost possession. And Thompson stepped out of bounds. So the ball back to Serbia. Last week in the preliminary round, meeting for the first time in the Olympics, the U.S. defeated Serbia 94-91. That's the game. We touched on it earlier. United States led by as many as 18. They jumped in front 23-5, but Serbia able to get back into it. Actually had a chance to tie it in the final seconds. The only other time that the U.S. played Serbia was the FIBA World Cup in Madrid in 2014, and the U.S. won by 37 points. Bogdanovic, nowhere to go. His pass picked off. Here comes Thompson. George kicks it out. Good ball movement here. Durant, they swing it. A lot of passes. Durant fires and hits. That is the sequence of the game.
That's the sequence of the Olympic tournament for the United States on the offensive end. That ball moved, and that's why he said you never have to take a contested shot, Mark. Move the ball. These teams cannot guard you.
We have not seen that in 2 weeks of play. Crowd wanted a goaltender on that attempt by Stimac, and that will do it for the first half. Head coach Mike Krzyzewski and his staff have to feel very good. The U.S. with a 52-29 lead on Serbia. They've outscored Serbia 40-15 since they were down by 2 back in the first quarter, and Kevin Durant leading the way. He has 24 points on 9 of 14 from the field.
Today's game is brought to you with limited commercial interruption by Toyota. Let's go places.
Back at Carioca Arena, Marv Alvin, Doug Collins, Glasgow and Woodade. Set for the second half. The United States with a 52-29 lead on Serbia. At one point, they had a 40-15 run. Carmelo Anthony played only 8 minutes in the first half. He's back out there. Kevin Durant has had the hot hand. Kevin Durant leading the way as the U.S. shoots 45% from the field.
Well, look at the USA defense. 31% field goal, 33 for 17 from 3, 13 points off turnover, 17 fast break points, plus 15 rebounds. Kevin Durant with 24 first half points.
Anthony with the jumper. Yes. Carmelo Anthony with his first field goal.
Now, if you're Coach K and the USA staff, you say, what do you say to your team at half? That's what you say. First 5 minutes. First 5 minutes. Take this team and don't give them any chance to think about winning the game.
They have done a terrific defensive job on this man, number 4, Miloš Teodosić. And Bogdanovic 0 for 7 from the field. Stimac able to set it up, and a very friendly rim for Nikola Jokić, who's been quiet. Had an excellent game last week against the United States. 25 points, 11 of 15 shooting. A member of the Denver Nuggets. Had a superb rookie season. Made all rookie first team. Teodosić off the screen. Bogdanovic starting the second half, came off the bench in the first half. DeAndre Jordan bothering Stimac. Bogdanovic gets it right back. Shot clock to 5. And it's knocked away by Anthony. Jokic taking his time trying to set the ball correctly to take the shot.
Well, they're playing through the post and trying to run some splits. The United States is doing a good job on their switches, getting up underneath guys, not letting them slip to the rim, and really putting pressure on the passer. 2
on the shot clock. And it's a 24-second violation. Good play by Jordan to tie up Stimac, not allowing the shot. Doug, this is the play of the Olympics for the United States. This taking place during the first half. We have not seen much of this kind of ball movement on the part of the U.S.
Well, drive and kick, and now they're just chasing the ball. Serbia's, what do? You keep passing around, and the hot man gets the ball. Kevin Durant, that's the way basketball should be played.
Kyrie Irving with a series of moves. Rebounded by Stimac. Durant leads the way with 24, 9 of 15 from the field, including 4 from from downtown. This is Bogdan, way off, rebounded by Durant. Just getting started, third quarter. This for the gold. Earlier today was Spain over Australia, 89-88. So Spain has won the bronze. Pau Gasol, 31 points, 11 rebounds. Patty Mills led Australia with 30 and 8 3-pointers. So Teodosić able to knock it down. He's having difficulty finding his shots.
Well, they've had Paul George on him. They've had Klay Thompson. Carmelo Anthony hit a 3 while ago, but he has really struggled to finish. Last 3 or 4 games, he just doesn't seem he has that lift. Missing shots around the rim.
Foul is on Anthony, his second.
A lot of expected, obviously, of Carmelo going into this year with New York, of staying healthy. He and Christian Porzingis, as see Teodosić there, finds DeAndre Jordan on him. He just rises up and shoots the ball. But Derrick Rose and Joakim Noah, a lot of different moving parts there in New York this year.
It will be intriguing, but you have guys who are all coming back from injuries. Let's see if that will count as Teodosić took to the rim. Now the foul before the shot attempt. On Irving and Carmelo coming off a knee problem.
And you know, Joakim Noah had a shoulder, and it's more now his knee that he struggles with. Derrick Rose has had knee problems.
Foul committed by Teodosić. But at least right now on paper, there's no comparison looking at the roster as in contrast to a year ago, 2 years ago.
They're intriguing. They're interesting. Everybody's, what's the story going to be? Is it going to be the high side? Everybody stays healthy and they got a chance to have a great year, or are they going to be decimated by injuries at the All-Star break and it be a struggle?
Well, Phil Jackson doing some shuffling of the roster. Here's Thompson, got the step. Klay Thompson. 9 points for Thompson. It is a 57-33 rout by the U.S. Teodosić. Irving able to save it.
Klay Thompson's done a magnificent job defensively today, and he's starting to make some shots. That's an awfully tough shot there.
And back comes Serbia in the white. Teodosić, guarded by Irving, tries to back him. And the foul is called on Kyrie Irving.
See, it's interesting, Mark, with Serbia. Have you seen them run their plays and make plays and constant movement and all the things that you saw in pool play? Are they playing one-on-one now? The United States has totally broken down their offense, and now they're trying to do it on their own, and they're not good enough to do that. They need each other. The ball, they only had 8 assists in the entire first half.
That was number 4 in Irving, who's replaced by Lowry. Open shot for Bogdan. Miloš Teodosić was a second-round draft pick of the Cavaliers back in 2011, but has been playing overseas in Italy and Israel and Turkey and Serbia. Worked his way into the starting lineup. Oh, the lob for Jordan.
See, the previous play we saw Klay Thompson come off and curl in the lane. Nobody helped. The big steps up. Klay Thompson's 6'7" now. He can make that play over the top. And DeAndre Jordan, one of the best rim rollers in the NBA. You throw that ball up to him, he's going to finish.
That shot blocked by Jordan, coming off a terrific all-around game in the semis on Friday night against Spain. And the U.S. continues to roll. Jordan, the end of the day, 9 points, 16 rebounds, and 4 blocked shots. In fact, he was effective in the earlier game against Serbia, 13 points in 14 minutes. Markovic not able to hit. Thompson open, 4-3.
See when you make the extra pass, how beautiful basketball is, Mark. today the United States, their defense has been terrific. They're creating open floor opportunities. Look at that, just a touch pass, kick it down to the corner. Klay Thompson, wide open shots. I tell you, if I'm an NBA coach, I'm having nightmares right now thinking about all the open shots that Kevin Durant, Klay Thompson, and Steph Curry are going to get this year, the way they move the ball. All right, let's watch this play by Klay Thompson. See, the big steps up. The guard cannot get there, and you just throw the ball to him. That's called KYP, Marv. Know your personnel. Throw the ball ahead. Leaking out on the break. They had 17 fast break points in the first half, continuing the onslaught here in the second. And one extra pass. Measure it, knock it down. Klay Thompson's got it rolling. Durant's got it rolling. The United States defense has been terrific. And we see DeAndre Jordan, who's been the anchor of that defense, enjoying it all the way.
And the United States now shooting at 45% from the field. Let's go to Roz.
You know, Doug, to your point about how Kevin Durant will work with the Warriors, coming into this tournament and during it, Coach K actually came up to him and said, you know, maybe we should find you even more shooting opportunities. And Kevin Durant appreciated that, but he told Coach, you would coach how you want to. I'm going to play the game the way it's supposed to be played. I don't want to be out there just looking to get numbers and shots. I want to play smart and be aggressive while also letting the game come naturally.
Took a few games for Klay to get rolling, but he's had 2 enormous performances. Nice move there by Bogdanovic, and that is his first field goal.
Well, remember when Klay was struggling early in pool play, he went to Coach K, and he said, I'd like to come off the bench with that second unit like I did in FIBA World Cup, where you played so well. He went to the bench. Paul George, who was playing well on the bench, went into the starting lineup. They both struggled, so Coach K went back to Klay Thompson, Paul George coming off the bench, and they now have found their spots. That's one of the reasons USA is now off to this commanding lead and finishing defensively the way they should have started in pool play.
Foul on Bogdanovic. 2 shots for Durant. Marcus Cousins checks back in, coming on for DeAndre Jordan. Both centers playing very well here today. Cousins, terrific first half, 11 points, 12 rebounds in 11 minutes.
Well, once again, you see Kyle Lowry out there on the ball, tough on the ball defender. That helps DeMarcus Cousins defend the screen roll.
Approaching 4 minutes left in the third. Bogdan looking for the shot. It's picked off by George, and he's blocked by Bogdanovic.
You know, for people who haven't seen a lot of the Olympic tournament up to this point in time, one of the guys, the great stories on this team is Paul George, and the traumatic leg injury he had 2 years ago. He's healthy. He's coming off a great year with Indiana. The Pacers, big things expected with their changes. But I'm sure when this is all said and done, he steps up on that platform and gets that medal. It might mean more to him than most of the guys on this team.
Made it all the way back, the All-Star team this past season, and certainly made it back strong from that broken right leg he suffered 2 years ago while he was competing for a roster spot on the U.S. national team as they were playing on the FIBA World Cup tournament. Cousins kicks it out. Again, they swing it. George on a rainbow 3.
Now that was all made by DeMarcus Cousins. You get 2 on the ball, you get it in the middle of the floor, you're playing 4 on 3, just find the open man.
Bogdanovic, perhaps the extra step, able to save it. Ball knocked away, but a foul. A reach-in is called on Anthony, trying to take it away from Bogdanovic. That's 3 on Carmelo.
I don't know, Marv, I'm looking up this scoreboard and I see Serbia has 37 points. I'm saying, how did they get 91 the other night? How did they do that?
Their scores have varied, as I mentioned earlier, as Bogdanovic is off. They actually lost their first couple of games. Carmelo Anthony. They went 2 and 3 in pool play. And by virtue of tiebreakers, they got to the middle round. And then, by winning 2 games, and certainly you have to give them credit because they played exceptionally well. Here they are in the gold medal game.
Well, the team that's got to be sick to their stomach right now watching this is Australia. In Australia, everybody was talking about how good they were in the pool play. Serbia beats them by 26. Australia leaves without a medal. They've never medaled now in basketball. They thought they were going to get one this year. It did not happen.
Off the steal, Ladulica not able to handle it. And back comes George for the U.S. Gets it to Anthony. So Carmelo Anthony lays it home over Bogdanovic. And it leads to a timeout. United States calling for time to make apparently just substitutions. Jimmy Butler will check back in as he comes on for Kevin Durant. Kevin Durant helped break things open, and a technical foul has been called now on Nikola Kalinic, and that will be his 5th foul. In FIBA rules, a technical counts as a personal. 5 fouls and you are out. So Carmelo Anthony to the line to shoot the tee.
We talked in our open about the 3 dynamic scores of the United States. The first time the United States played Serbia, Klay Thompson, Kevin Durant, and Carmelo Anthony were 6 for 18, and they combined for 27 points. Here, late in the 3rd quarter, those 3 guys have combined for 47 points, with Kevin Durant having a brilliant game.
Nikola Kalinic, who started the game but was in early foul trouble, just picked up number 5. We're down to 2:23 to go in this 3rd quarter, and a 73-39 lead for the United States. Mike Krzyzewski has Butler and Lowry in the backcourt. That ball deflected and stolen. Jokić will draw the foul. Stefan Jokić has been playing in Serbia and with the national team the past 3 years, playing about 15 minutes a game during the Olympics. Will head to the line. Foul on Butler. Jimmy Butler has played about 2 minutes thus far today.
Remember, he got that nosebleed and sat down, and DeRozan came in for him. DeRozan did not play the game before, so Jimmy Butler did not get those minutes. They went to DeRozan, and DeMar DeRozan did a good job in the first half.
Jimmy Butler of the Chicago Bulls.
That's a team that's going to be interesting as well. Jimmy Butler, Rajon Rondo.
Nice pass, but Butler missed the layup.
And Dwayne Wade.
Another team that will have many new looks. Lowry not able to hit. And it will count. It's a goaltend.
Cutting without the ball, though. More movement than we've seen in the United States.
Bogdanovic. Followed around by George. And that is a kick ball. So Teodosić will put it in play. Minute and 35 remaining in the 3rd. Reach in on Cousins as he slapped at Ladulica. Head coach of Serbia, Sasha Djordjevic, who was an outstanding player overseas. In fact, played for the national team, including their silver medal year back in 1996 in Atlanta. And we mentioned on one of the earlier broadcasts, he did have a run with the Portland Trailblazers. That was back in '96. And P.J. Carlissimo was the head coach of the Blazers, and P.J. was here in the building broadcasting for Westwood One Radio, and was telling us that he had to cut Sasha Djordjevic And Sasha did not take it well.
Yeah, that was after 8 games, but PJ, the follow-up to that story, Mark, they saw each other here after the game, and he said they gave each other a hug, so all good between Djordjevic and PJ, and DeMarcus Cousins, powerful finish, and he's having a terrific game today.
Actually, Djordjevic did not recognize PJ. Three-point attempt is off, attempted by Nedovic, and a foul is called. For Serbia, it is their 4th Olympic appearance, first time they've qualified since becoming an independent nation. That was back in 2006, and their first appearance was as Serbia and Montenegro. Won the silver in Atlanta, as I mentioned. Butler able to get to it. Here's Durant for 3. And back comes Nedovic for Serbia. Goes all the way to the left hand. And the follow put home by Jokic. Butler in a one-on-one move way off. Teodosić. They lose it. And we get a whistle for a foul. Serbia over the foul limit. Is on Jokic. Talking a moment ago about Serbia, one of the oldest cities in Europe, located between Central and Southeast Europe, and Doug, the population of Serbia just under 9 million. But they've produced some outstanding athletes. I mentioned earlier in the telecast their men's water polo team won gold. And here they are in basketball in the gold medal game. Here is Vlade Divac, general manager now of the Sacramento Kings. He is from Serbia, played for Yugoslavia in Atlanta in the Olympics, and an outstanding 16-season NBA career with the Lakers, and a couple of years with Charlotte. As you see some of the other outstanding players who have come from Serbia. At one time, Vlade was a government advisor in Serbia for humanitarian, I won't even go any further. Humanitarian issues.
There we go.
There it is. Can't read my writing.
One of the all-time great guys, Vlade. Always loved when I was broadcasting games before, and he was playing for Sacramento, those terrific Sacramento Kings teams. Maybe the all-time best passing front line there in a long time, you know, in the NBA, Mark, when it was he, Chris Webber, and Brad Miller. They inverted their offense. Rick Adelman, the coach, Mike Bibby, terrific team, and got their heart broken the 1 year in the playoffs. Had Game 7 at home against the Lakers. The Lakers won to break the Kings' heart, and the Kings were not able to recover from that.
34. Make it 30 points for Durant. 10 of 18 shooting, 5 from downtown. Meanwhile, Serbia shooting just 3 of 20 from 3, and overall 34% from the field. Final seconds of the third. Wild pass. Lowry, can he get it off? He does. That will not count. And after the horn. After 3 from Carioca Arena in Rio. It's the United States 79 and Serbia 43. And as we continue with our Olympic flashbacks, we go to late in the 1972 Olympic basketball final in Munich. Doug Collins very much there, makes the steal, gets knocked to the floor on a very hard foul, made 2 free throws. Certainly the most clutch free throws in Olympic history. That gave the U.S. a 1-point lead with 3 seconds left. After the inbound, the official called a timeout with a second left. And again, The Soviets inbound. This time the clock was reset to 3 seconds, giving the Soviets another chance. So off a long inbounds. We saw Belov with the score, and the Soviet Union awarded the goal. And at the medal ceremony, the U.S. squad refused to attend and did not accept their silver medals. As you look at that for the umpty-umph time, Doug, what passes through your mind?
Well, it really hits me on a day like today because it looks like the United States is going to go on and get the gold medal. And it's always these moments. I see Coach K, a very dear friend. He's going to get his 3rd gold medal and hand the reins over to Greg Popovich and move on back to Duke. But, you know, those moments, I always say when I see the guys get up on the podium and get the gold medals and hear the national anthem, that's the moment that my teammates and I really miss. And when you watch that, it's tough. It really is, because we were the first team to lose. And Coach Iba, that would have been his 3rd Olympic gold medal. And Coach K, so they would have been the most decorated Olympic men's basketball coaches. So I felt really bad for Coach and my teammates, but the Olympic experience changed my life. This is my 5th one broadcasting, and it means the world to me to be here.
And the U.S. now is 1 win away from a 3rd straight gold medal, 5th in the last 6 Olympics. 4th quarter is underway. 79-43, U.S. on top. Tip was missed. Jokić had an opportunity again. And they are pointing in the other direction. It will be the United States ball.
You can see the United States, they're up 36. Jimmy Butler's down on the floor trying to get the loose ball. Kevin Durant's on the floor.
And you can't call timeout under the rules, and in FIBA only the coach or an assistant coach can call time. So it's a held ball, and the possession arrow was pointing in the direction of the U.S.
I like that rule. I wish that would go to the NBA. So many times you see a timeout called and you don't even know who has possession of the basketball.
Durant for 3. Butler gathers it in. George fires for 3. Punched out by Butler. Another possession for the United States. And on the offensive rebound, it's a 14-second possession, which is now down to 5. Cousins blocked. Lowry, yes, it will count. Just did beat the shot clock.
How about that possession by Jimmy Butler? He got 3 offensive rebounds and gave Kyle Lowry an open 3. He's not scoring the ball, but his imprints are on this game defensively and rebounding.
Teodosić was off, and a foul is called away from the ball. It is on Durant. And now Durant hears it from the crowd as he takes a seat. Kevin Durant with an outstanding performance. Bad pass, too much on it. Here comes George. DeRozan, back it goes to George, and trying to stuff it. Kept alive by Cousins. George for 3. Teodosić for Serbia. On the hop. Broke it up. It'll be U.S. ball.
United States is giving up nothing, even in this blowout right now. In your immortal words, garbage time. I mean, they're still defending, knocking balls loose, coming up with offensive rebounds.
Butler and Lowry in the backcourt. You can see George looking for that lob, not able to finish as it is deflected out of bounds. George, Cousins, and DeRozan up front. A foul is called. It's a pushing foul on Teodosić. That's a second.
Well, Kevin Durant, when the United States needed him, a lot of speculation coming into this game. Could they beat Serbia? Serbia played him to a 3-point game, had a chance to tie that game. At the end of the 4th quarter, sent it to OT. Kevin Durant taking only 4 shots in that game. Well, this guy for the United States in the 2010 gold medal game, the 2012 gold medal game, in the World Cup, in the Olympics, and now another Olympics here, has come up money. He's a dynamic scorer, Marv. This guy was built and born to score. He's 7 feet tall. He can handle the ball. He can shoot threes. And he's a really good defensive player when he gets locked in. Sometimes he'll have his moments, but it's going to be interesting to see him in Golden State with Steve Kerr and that dynamic defense, how he plays there.
And he has led the U.S. in scoring here at the Olympics, just under 18 a game. Shot clock down to 5. And a reach-in is called as Stefan Burčević tried to take advantage of Kyle Lowry down low. He's trying to post him. Lowry picked up the foul. That's his first. Jokić with the open shot. You see signs of the wave taking place across the way. I think that some of the Serbian fans came to life looking for something.
You know, what I love about the Olympics is normally we're used to NBA crowds. If a team is getting blown out, the crowd empties out and there's nobody around. Remember in the game against Argentina the other night, the Argentinian fans, the last 8 minutes singing, honoring the golden generation.
Jokić on that foul. DeRozan is his way off. Draymond Green coming on for the first time. 84-45, United States on top. Jokić with a nice pass, but Jokić not able to hit. Here's Lowry for 3.
Kyle Lowry has not shot the ball well, but he has been a spark plug defensively with that second unit, but just not been able to knock in the open shots. We saw that in the playoffs with the Raptors. He had some cold moments, but he also, Mark, got hot when his team needed it.
Bogdanovic surprised to end up with the ball on the deflection. And hits for the 2. George puts a move on Bogdanovic. Made it a bit difficult. And on the turnover, this is Bogdanovic fouled by Green. So the U.S. on its way to making it a record of 8-0, sweeping through the Olympics. It was not pretty at times. They won the first 2 in blowouts over China and Venezuela, then had a run of unimpressive performances. They've picked it up the last 2 or 3 games. Good pressure there by Green, and Burčević lost control. You see the complete tally, the 3-point games with Serbia, France.
Well, 78 points from Argentina, 76 from Spain. Both those teams shoot under 40%. Today, Serbia is shooting well under 40%. They're going to finish way below that 75-point mark. And Marv, I think what you got to give credit to the United States defense is when they needed to be good, they cranked it up. And that's one thing about NBA players. They have another level. You talked about it all the time about how talented, but they have another level they can go to. And we have seen that in the medal round.
DeRozan with his first field goal. And here comes Lowry with just under 6 remaining. George with the alley-oop, and DeRozan able to put it down. In case you're wondering, the largest margin of victory in a men's gold medal basketball game, 44, United States defeating France 65-21 back in 1948. It is now up to 41. This thanks to our combination researcher, stat man, stage manager, all-around guy, JP.
You know what I'm thinking,
Harris.
Marv, I'm thinking right now, you know that song, that beautiful song by Vanessa Williams, Saving Your Best for Last. And that's what the United States has done. They've saved their best for last. This is their best performance on both ends of the floor. We've seen it with defense a couple times. They've put it all together today. And Kevin Durant, I guess 30's golden for him. here's the highlight package, and I don't know where you start. This was in the end of the first quarter. I thought this got him going, knocked that shot down, and from then it was on cruise control, throwing the ball ahead, attacking in the open court, getting into passing lanes, finishing with a powerful dunk on the other end, attacking and getting to the rim, inside, outside, offense, defense. When they needed him the most, that's where he was today. And DeAndre Jordan with a big hug, and the United States very close to getting on a plane and heading back with that gold medal around their necks.
Yes, it will be a delirious plane ride back to the United States. Sigh of relief, I think, on the part of some of the coaches who may have been concerned earlier in this tournament.
But when you look at the coaching staff of the United States, obviously everybody knows Coach K at Duke and what he has done. Jim Boeheim, an incredibly decorated coach at Syracuse. Tom Thibodeau, after a year away, is going to be going back to that young Minnesota Timberwolves. And then Monty Williams, after the tragedy last year, losing his wife in a car accident, he's ready to coach again, and it looks like he's going to go maybe to the Spurs in some kind of role, not yet sure. One of the classiest men you will ever meet in your entire life. This guy is humble, he's gracious, and somebody's going to get him a great head coach when he's ready to do that again. But Monty Williams, I got a lot of love and respect for him. I can't imagine what he's gone through this season, Marv. I can't even fathom that.
One-time head coach of the New Orleans Pelicans, associate head coach of Oklahoma City, working with Billy Donovan, then obviously stepped away, but decided to make it to Rio to be part of this group for the 2016 Olympics.
And I tell you who loves him, Kevin Durant. KD just raves about Monty Williams and what he's meant in his career.
5 minutes to go. 88-47, United States on top. Nice pass, but the block by Butler. Jimmy Butler with the stop.
Continuing to defend. You know, a lot of times you start playing the score in a game like this and give up points, and the United States has still got their defense locked in.
Simonovic got it down low, but it was knocked aside from Jokic. DeRozan is picked off by Bogdanovic. He went behind the back, and they turn it over.
Well, Bogdanovic has had a nightmare of a game. Just struggling to shoot the basketball, turning the ball over. 0 for 8 tonight. He's a much better player than that. United States locked in on him. And Jokic is a terrific young center. He's not had the kind of day, obviously, that we saw him have the other night, Mark, when he had 25. But what a future he has with Denver.
Harrison Barnes checking in. Harrison now of the Dallas Mavericks has not played much during the course of the Olympics, only his 4th game. Two solid seasons with a couple of solid seasons with Golden State. Bogdanovic from the angle. Barnes is fouled by Bogdanovic. Earlier today was Spain defeating Australia 89-88, so Spain has won the bronze. Led by Pau Gasol, 31 points, 11 rebounds, had that sore calf, but played very well against the United States. Patty Mills with 30 for Australia. When you look at Serbia's record, which includes a 1-point loss to France on a late jumper by Tony Parker, as Barnes is off. Then in the quarterfinals, they beat Croatia in a 3-point game, and as you can imagine, that's quite a rivalry. And then this is the surprise, they walloped Australia in the semifinals by 26 after they lost earlier to them by 15. Bogdanovic hits the jumper.
I think everybody felt that the United States were going to be on another collision course to play Australia. I think there was a lot of people looking for that rematch. But Australia did not take care of their business. Serbia did. Serbia is going to leave with the silver, and Australia is going to leave with heartbreak and no medals.
3.5 remaining. the layup. It's been a rough run for Draymond, who had a sensational season with Golden State. He was in and out of the lineup, could just never got going in the rotation.
You know, he's one of those guys that 35, 36 minutes, plays multiple positions, handle the ball as you run your offense through him, to make shots, and he's part of it. He's not a guy that in short minutes is going to give you that, and he really hasn't had much of a chance. But, you know, Mark, it's tough to play 12 guys. You know, Harrison Barnes, talk about a guy who played on a World Championship team, got back to the NBA Finals, lost in Game 7. It's just difficult when you're that coach to be able to get all 12 guys. You and I talked about it before. At some point in time, you get in the medal round, you get down to about a 9-man rotation, and the other guys play if they get a chance because of the game getting out of hand.
And you try to play everyone early. Bogdanovic with the bucket. He'll go to the line to foul by Lowry. From the coaching staff point of view, if guys make the commitment, you try to play them, particularly early on, and that is what happened with the U.S. But it was easy to play guys early against Venezuela and China, but then things turned as the competition got a bit stiffer.
And where, you know, Steve Kerr has a great confidence and trust in Draymond Green because of all the years they've been together. Now, this is first-time coaches there, and you can only go on sort of what you're seeing here. And Draymond struggled a little bit, and so he was a guy that was sort of the odd man out minutes-wise, but it's not because he's not a great player.
Bogdanovic off the steal and then hits from downtown. Bogdanovic, who spent some time with Golden State, originally a first-round pick of the Phoenix Suns, coming up on 2 minutes remaining. Jimmy Butler on target. Bogdanovic. And Anthony with the rebound.
I wonder if he needed a rebound or something to be all-time leader in rebounds, because they put him back in the game. He got the rebound. I bet you it's to get the record.
Yes, I believe they are statistically aware. Yes.
Because he's already played more games, more points. This will be his 3rd gold medal. Remember, he was on the bronze team in 2004, the team that really sort of begat USA basketball, and he and Coach K, a lot of love there, along with his college coach Jim Boeheim.
It is a men's Olympic record as Bogdan plays at home for Carmelo Anthony, a 3rd gold medal coming up. It'll be a 2nd for Kevin Durant, and for the other 10 on the roster, it will be a 1st.
And, you know, one of the things that's happened with men's basketball, and Jerry Colangelo points it out a lot, is a lot of these guys who play go back and have career years in the NBA. They take this experience, being around these other great players, growing, learning. I remember when my son Chris was working with USA Basketball, the imprint that Kobe Bryant had, the way he did things on a daily basis, teaching LeBron James, some of these younger players, every single day. These guys take it back to their teams and they grow. And so a magnificent experience here for the United States, and they're going to walk away once again with the gold.
And now there's speculation that LeBron might look to play in 2020. There were several big names missing for various reasons from this squad.
And you can only imagine, you know, Marvin, in the NBA, 4 years is like dog years. All that can happen in that period of time, whether it be injuries or guys getting older, or younger guys exploding and taking off.
This is Bogdanovic ahead of the field. So Bogdanovic has had a good time here at Del Marche in the 4th quarter. He's now 5 for 9, 12 points for final minute. And the hugging has begun on the Team USA bench. Barnes to the bucket. with a half minute to go. And Bogdan is fouled.
There's Coach K, and you know, outside there's his wife, Mickey, Jeff Capel, his associate head coach by her side there. And at Duke family's something special, and Coach K now can lead this Olympic program as the men's coach. And what it means to him, believe me, how much he appreciates the hard work of those assistant coaches. And he's going to lead as the all-time winningest coach in the Olympics with 3 gold medals. As I said before, Hank Iba, my coach in '72 would have had the 3rd had not been the tragedy there at the end of that game. But he's just saying to you guys, thanks. These guys make a commitment, Marv. They give up a lot of time, and a lot of these guys play deep into the playoffs and don't get much time off. And they're committed to their country and U.S. to do things the right way.
Standing ovation from this crowd. The United States well represented here in Rio, and that will do it. The United States has won the gold. The U.S. defeating Serbia 96-66. For Team USA, it is 3 straight gold medals. They won in 2008 in Beijing, 2012 in London, and now 2016 in Rio. They make it 6 of the last 7 Olympics. We'll be back in a moment. That's the scene just moments ago. The United States celebrating its gold medal victory as they defeat Serbia 96-66.
Well, they got off to a little bit of a slow start, Marv, but then they put the pedal to the metal, and it was a walk-away win for the United States.
And Carmelo Anthony, you called it, Doug. He was pointing toward the bench. He is now the U.S. Olympic all-time leader, not only in games, points, field goals made, but now in rebounds, and he was well aware of it. Let's go to Roz with Carmelo.
Melo, this is your 3rd gold medal. You've been on 4 different Olympic teams. What should the legacy of this 2016 team be? How should y'all be remembered?
I mean, we fought. It wasn't always pretty. We came together July 17th, and we all committed for this one reason right now, and it was a special moment for me. You know what I mean? So, long time.
Why was this one special for you?
I know this is the end. This is it for me. This is it for me. I committed to something. Committed to this in 04. I've seen the worst and I've seen the best, and I stuck with it. We stuck with it, and I'm here today, 3 gold medals later. I'm excited for me, but also for the other guys who never experienced anything like this. Coach K, myself, Jerry Colangelo, and everybody else who's been a part of this situation, who's been a part of USAB since I've been here. I just want to say thank you for allowing me to be one of the leaders, not of just our team, but of our country. Despite everything that's going on right now in our country, we got to be united. And I'm glad I did what I did. I stepped up to the challenge. But this is what it's about, and representing our country on the biggest stage that you can be on. America will be great again. I believe that. We got a lot of work to do, but it's one step at a time, and I'm glad we represented it in the fashion that we did. So.
Thank you so much, Melo. Congrats.
All right, Roz, Carmelo Anthony of the New York Knicks. a men's Olympic record, third gold medal. Kevin Durant, 10 of 19. He had 30 points, hit 5 threes. Only 2 players have scored 30 or more in a gold medal game. Adrian Dantley did it back in 1976, and this a second time for Kevin Durant. Did it in 2012 and now does it in 2016. Sing victory for the U.S. to win the gold. They do a 96-60 medal ceremony in a few moments. The celebration continues here in Rio as the United States comes away with the gold medal. A little bit later on, we'll get a look at the medal ceremony. And the player today, and this opposed to that previous game against Serbia where no one stepped up. There were 6 U.S. players in double figures, but no one had the numbers that Kevin Durant put together here this afternoon.
You know, Mark, when I think about it, the United States played pool play like it was a regular season NBA game, 4th and 5th night in 4 different cities. And when the medals got on the line, their defense really picked up. And that's really what they were built to do, defend and rebound. And Kevin Durant is the guy that puts the points on the board, and especially when he is much needed. And today walks right into this 3-point shot. He was 5 for 11 from 3. Drove the ball, passed the ball, got out on the break. United States had 30 fast break points. How about they had 26 points off turnovers, dominated the paint, and it was their suffocating defense really that led to the offense. Kevin Durant there with DeAndre Jordan, Klay Thompson. You know, this is the last game to be played here, you know, in the Olympics, you know, the last event. They saw a lot of flags, a lot of gold medals presented. But Mark, this is what I was talking about. Look at Argentina, 38%, 39% Spain, Serbia, 38%. Look at the points allowed. They were built to defend. They wanted to keep their opponents under 40%. They did it when it counted, pounded on the boards by 21. And just their talent just overwhelmed Serbia today under pressure.
In the early moments, there were some uh-ohs in the crowd when it was 14-12 in favor of Serbia. But from then on, the U.S. outscored Serbia 84-52, and they win it in a rout. We'll have more a bit later. Back at Carioca Arena in Rio de Janeiro, Brazil. We're set for the medals ceremony. Marv Albert and Doug Collins. All 3 teams around the stand. Let's pick it up on the public address.
Mr. René Basel, Switzerland, member of the Executive Board of the International Olympic Committee.
Senhor René Fazel, da Suíça, membro do Comitê Executivo do Comitê Olímpico Internacional.
Ils seront accompagnés par Monsieur Aman Nyang, Mali, vice-président de la Fédération internationale de basketball.
Accompanied by Mr. Hamane Niang, Mali, Vice President of the International Basketball Federation.
Acompanhados por Senhor Amani Nyong, Mali, vice-presidente da Federação Internacional de Basquete.
Monsieur Horacio Muratore, Argentine, président de la Fédération internationale de basketball.
Mr. Horacio Muratore.
So the officials are being announced earlier today with Spain over Australia, 89-88. So Spain has won the bronze.
There's Coach K and his wife, Mickey. She's been with him every step of the way at Duke, at Army, now here with USA Basketball. And this is a bittersweet moment for Coach. I mean, you know, he's put 11 years into this USA Basketball, done a magnificent job winning his 3rd gold medal. He won 2 gold medals in the FIBA World Cup, undefeated in Olympic basketball. But more importantly, what he and Jerry Colangelo have done is just uplift USA Basketball once again. After Athens, what they have done infused this feeling about NBA players to be a part of this, family and this culture, and what a great moment.
Jerry Colangelo, USA Basketball Managing Director. He's also a special advisor now to the Philadelphia 76ers with Jerry's son Brian, the general manager, president of basketball operations. So medals being presented to Spain, Serbia, and then the gold to the U.S.
Pau Gasol had a brilliant Olympic tournament. You know, maybe from start to finish, he was one of the best players in this tournament for his team. Rudy Fernandez, who played in the NBA for a while, is back now playing in Spain. Sergio Rodriguez, who will be a point guard for the Philadelphia 76ers. Juan Carlos Navarro La Bamba, who has been a brilliant player throughout his career in Spain, as has Jose Calderon. You know, a lot is made about Argentina, the golden generation. Spain has had a tremendous run, Marv, with this group of men. And what I've seen with Spain, though, they have some younger players. So I think they're going to continue to be good. Argentina does not have the young players that Spain has in their system.
And for Spain, their 12th Olympic appearance, they had received 3 silver medals. Now they take up bronze. They faced the U.S. in the last 2 gold medal games. The U.S. defeating Spain in both 2008, 2012. And here's Nikola Mirotic, who had a couple of sensational shooting performances.
Ricky Rubio, a special moment for him. Lost his mother to cancer, devastating. And just, I'm sure he's looking down at that medal right now and thinking of his mother and all she meant in his life. But I read a beautiful article about him. He just talked about this moment and wishing he could share it with her.
9 of Spain's players have played or will be playing in the NBA.
And they have some young players. Now, Ricky Rubio will be playing for Tom Thibodeau in Minnesota, a young team there with great upside, and it'll be fun to watch them this year.
Spain, a team very efficient offensively. Shot the 3 just under 40%. There's Tom Thibodeau.
You think he'll watch tape of this game on the way back from the plane? Or
Probably.
Do you think he will probably turn it off and maybe enjoy himself for about 10 hours? There's his point guard, Ricky Rubio.
Tom told me that he's actually during his time off, and he was visiting with various NBA coaches and going to practices. He said, though, he caught up on all the movies he's missed the last 10 years.
Yeah.
So the crowd reacting to Spain.
Mark, what a great run for Serbia, though. I mean, this is a big moment for their country in basketball. The rich heritage, you spoke about it. We saw the graphic of some of the great players. Miloš Teodosić, a brilliant guard. Be interesting to see at some point in time if he comes to the United States and plays. But he was the heart and soul. He's been the best player for this country in the last decade.
Had a rough one today. I thought the U.S. did an excellent job.
They really did.
On Miloš, and it wasn't the same guy we saw throughout the tournament.
Well, I like what the U.S. did. They put Klay Thompson on him to start, and then when they came in, they either put Paul George or Jimmy Butler, a bigger, stronger defender, and it really affected him.
Serbia has a strong basketball tradition. They won 5 Olympic medals as Yugoslavia. For Serbia, it's their 4th Olympic appearance. It's the first time they've qualified since becoming an independent nation back in 2006. Their first 3 appearances were as Serbia and Montenegro. They won the silver in the 1996 Olympic Games in Atlanta and qualified for these Olympics by winning the Olympic qualifying tournament. Serbia defeating Puerto Rico handedly. And the crowd reacts to Serbia. It's remarkable that they are here in this position.
Yeah, and my hat's off to them. You know, they got it handed to them today by the United States, but it was a focused United States team, and Serbia had gotten their attention in pool play when they lost by only 3 and had a chance to tie it. Bogdanovic had the 3 that would have tied it, and the United States came in with a different focus and attitude in this gold medal game than when they played them in pool play.
And Serbia, with extensive NBA experience, 3 players who had played in the league, plus 2 others who were drafted but decided to remain overseas.
And Jokić has got the highest upside. The young man we see right there shaking hands and receiving one of the little mementos of his time here in Rio.
Jokić finished 3rd for Rookie of the Year honors behind Karl Anthony Towns and Kristaps Porzingis, and he made all-rookie first team. And now the United States.
The United States of America.
Estados Unidos da América.
They have joined hands. And hear it from this crowd.
Finally a complete game in the Olympics. We talked about it before the game. You're going to see the United States for 40 minutes. They played in stretches on both ends of the floor. But dynamic defensively today, offensively, they moved the ball, they shot the ball well, and Kevin Durant was, well, just Kevin Durant.
30 points, 9 rebounds, 5 threes for Durant. And DeAndre Jordan played exceptionally well the latter portion of the Olympics.
Well, when Coach K made the change and put him in the starting lineup, that team thrived with him there defensively and rebounding, and that DeMarcus Cousins found a great role with that second unit because that second unit's perimeter players were much better defensively. So he was a scorer with that group, fit well, and DeAndre Jordan was the anchor of that first unit. Kyrie Irving, who won a gold medal in the World Cup against Serbia, so he has 2 gold medals, both against Serbia.
Number 12.
Klay Thompson had 3 major games. DeMarcus Cousins today, 13 points, 15 rebounds, 1 shy of the U.S. Olympic record for rebounds. The other day, DeAndre Jordan had 16.
And my old teammate Jim Brewer in 72 had 16 as well.
As did Tim Duncan.
Yes.
Carmelo Anthony.
He was really touched, Marv, when he spoke to Roz after the game. You know what he said? He said, I've seen the best of it. And there's Jerry Colangelo said, I've seen the best of it now, and I've also lived through the worst of it in Athens. And here's Jerry Colangelo, a proud, proud man, put a lot of work in behind the scenes. These NBA players so respect him. And when he walks into a room, he grabs their attention.
I believe there was a mishap. There was a
turnover.
Yes, a drop medal. You know, it wasn't always smooth. 1 come from behind win for the U.S. 3 close games against what appeared to be overmatched opposition. But Team USA prevails by winning all 8 of their games, and they will take home the gold. You saw a shot of Mike Krzyzewski in his finale as head coach of the team with Greg Popovich to take over. for Coach K, his third goal, and as head coach of Team USA in the Olympics, he's won 24 straight, 24-0.
Mesdames et messieurs, l'hymne des États-Unis d'Amérique.
Ladies and gentlemen, the anthem of the United States of America.
Senhoras e senhores, o hino dos Estados Unidos da América.
For the United States, their third straight gold medal. The U.S. with its 46th gold medal of the Games. And we'd like to say thank you so much for watching these past 2 weeks. Our producer, director, the electronic wizard, Howie Singer, associate producer, Kevin McHale, researcher and staff, JP Jeff Paris, and graphics coordinator, Mike Beeler. Marv Albert, Doug Collins, Roz Jordan Woodard, saying so long from Carioca in Rio.
So congratulations to the U.S. men's basketball team as they win the last gold medal of these games. The United States finishes the Rio Olympics with 121 total medals. That's 18 more medals than the Americans won in London 4 years ago, 11 more than Beijing in 2008. That brings us to the end of our daytime coverage. It's been an exciting 17 days in Rio, and the city will host its big Olympic send-off at the Maracanã tonight with the closing ceremony. And a reminder, coming up next, it's Premier Boxing Champions from the Coney Island Boardwalk. And Olympic primetime coverage begins at 7 Eastern and Pacific on NBC. So for Al Michaels and Rebecca Lowe and Mike Tirico, our entire daytime crew, I'm Dan Patrick. Goodbye from Rio.